Me did yan techua, and maybe I'm discovered for you, Pakuma Busia for Ghana. No, me used to tap send. Tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Eye easy, eye convenient, eye fast, and sounds so free. Won't you share? Me discover ye mapim. Tap send. Intienne, also download the tap send app no ever mobile phone so free. Na first ka komo abusuya for Ghana fa na nyina. Tap send. Papa no.
Everybody check now. Check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. Check it. Green select glucometer. Check it. Put sugar level for check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The moment you hear check it, then you know check it, then you know real showbiz content is coming to you wherever you find yourself.
Oh, but that is not what is really popular.
Which one is more popular?
Yeah, Nyantajua.
That woman there, I'm sure she's bushers. I know. Sammy flexxnewspaper.
People will be hate her. Yesterday I did one video from my car. That video I don't do the advertisement. So when the video I went to read comment. The person said, "Today that tap said did not come. Please go straight to the point." Today that tap said did not come. Please go straight to the point. Hey, yeah, that you are. But Pacheke is a hit song.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's a hit song. My friend in Michael Usu, I think or something like that. In China, he sent me a video of him and his girlfriend, and the girlfriend was dancing. Pacheke. Shout out to you, Mike, and to your sweet girl, man. Charlie, it's not easy.
But it's all good. It's all good. It's part of the reasons why people love the content anyway, or they love the platform. And if today is your first time, don't forget to also subscribe, share, and also recommend the channel to other people because people are loving it.
Exactly.
Especially the check. Yeah. And if you don't know Madam Nyan Techua, just wait or go on all the other videos.
They know her already.
You see Madam Nyan Techua. This is Sammy Flex Speaks, and my name is Roland Amate. On this segment, we do serious breakdown analysis. That is from my big man. He gives you serious insight into some of the things that are happening in our showbiz space in Ghana and beyond. Big thanks to Currency, the guitar Rasta, Richie Flex, and everybody giving us support behind the scenes. We move straight to business. Today, Sarkodie is in the news, and Sarkodie has featured Shatta Wale in today's content. Yes, that is how we are going
Sarkodie
to do.
is trending.
Yes, Sarkodie is trending.
Thanks to Sammy. But it looks like Sammy has really gotten some time to spend on Twitter lately.
Really?
Yeah. I've subscribed to his Twitter handle, so anytime he does, boom, I get it.
Like
and then sometimes he can go on a roll like 1 hour. With his people. Oh no, I think it's good. Sometimes interacting with your followers also increases your numbers.
It is not boredom.
No, it's not boredom. Charlie, unless you want to stop this job, it is part of it. That's why some of us, at least, we've made it a point to post a content or two on our socials in a day. Because the moment you go off for so many days or weeks, then what it means that you are not connecting with your people. So the people who are running around as bloggers, the only thing that they used to beat you and I is the fact that now they have so much content to post. So people always want to go on their timelines to check.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they are even, or fortunately for them, they are making money from it.
Of course.
When they wake up, they want stuff to post. And thankfully to them too, people are now giving them money and content to post. So they'll keep on growing their numbers because now, if you want to get anything latest in town, you have to follow them. What have they posted today? What are they posting? So yeah, it is good. Samini, I think I'm loving him. As much as he still wants to do music there, he should not stop doing that. I love that.
So if you don't know the reason why Samini is trending or Sarkodie is trending, it is because of some of these banter that my man spoke about. Samini has replied to a fan saying that now the as it stands, currently there, he is not going to do a feature with Sarkodie because Sarkodie, he labeled him as fake, he labeled him as alo, and the fact that he doesn't return favors whenever people do for him. I don't know what my big man thinks. Before we move into today's topic, let him touch on that. Then we go into today's topic proper.
Simple. I think I've done another video on that. So let me just repeat what I said. And it is painful if it happens to you. But once again, we just have to understand the industry that we are in. That it is not all the time that as a creative, you are in good spirits to write.
Okay.
Sarkodie, for instance, you see, sometimes if you are judging some of these things, the whole of last year, how many times did Sarkodie even release a song? The whole of last year.
Not even one.
How many times? Until November 11th, before he released a jam album. Which also means that it could not even be that he did not record all the songs on the jams in 2022. For you know, he has recorded some of them. So it means he himself, he's suffering with writing. And not long ago, let's even go back. Sarkodie has admitted that he's been suffering blockhead.
Yeah, writer's block.
Yes, writer's block. So that's the word. Sarkodie himself said it too. That he himself has been suffering writer's block. So what it means is that if you bring him something, even he himself as a creative is suffering to write himself, how would he fall into your field? It's your field. Anytime someone wants to feature you, it means that you are getting that person into your field.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't get into your field, it is some way. So one, it is painful. If someone does that to you, especially when you see the person as your colleague, especially when you see the person as someone you have also given favor to, you respect that favor to come to you, that's fine. So, yes, Samini getting hurt is normal, like it's human. If you do something for someone and you have high expectation that the person also do same for you and he doesn't do it, you are surely going to be hurt. So, for Samini, it is nice that he's hurt. But in short, Sarkodie has apologized to him. And I want to believe that Samini will take the apology. And let's move on. But in a way, I think one thing I can also say finally is that Sarkodie should master this. As much as it will be hard for him to do, he should still master this. He should learn when to say no, when to say wait for me for a while, than to leave it unmarked. That one is painful more. It's like, oh, Brasame, I wanted this from you. Today, not even today, I think this man, when it started, so many people have called me for some favors or some here and there.
One or two.
When I see that you call Charlie, still it's mefro. It's like when the person calls you and you don't pick, you think about it.
Hey,
oh, Brasa me Charlie, my friend said I have my friend cry on fire. Just today, one called me Charlie. Minya obey me then. Minya because and yes me do go. Also pay more for me more load. But me won't tell me how do I help you? And Charlie, if you learn to say it this way, you not be now you brother me later. You're moving on.
You move.
Charlie, so Kinsak should also learn that and let's see how it goes.
So Sarkodie has apologized, like my big man said, in an interview with Anidusty. He was asked series of questions, and one of them came from his just recent feature with Bob Marley. That is the Stir It Up, the remake or remade or whatever you may call it. Refix, yes. So out of that, Shatta Wale not long ago also passed the comment on Love FM in Kumasi that Sarkodie has featured a ghost and that we should celebrate and congratulate him. And Sarkodie was asked his take on it, on whether or not like he's taking it to heart or he took it to heart. And Sarkodie said that he feels that statement came out of excitement. I don't know what my big man thinks. And he also went on to say that there are some few things that he wouldn't take to heart. Most of the things that he would take to heart would be something that like affects the industry at large and not personal, as in personal comment or something. But some people too have taken that statement like World Cup. Maybe my big man also has taken it World Cup. Let's hear from him.
I love to listen to the top celebrities speak about our industry because I think their experience cannot be compared to any of the guys around now.
Okay.
So if there's an interview between, say, Black Sheriff and Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, Shatta, Wale, Sammy, and you give me an option to choose one to listen, I would love to listen to those at the right-hand side than maybe Black Sheriff because their experience, what they have seen over the years, you can't compare it to what these guys have seen. They haven't seen anything. They just started. So today, for the first time, I was able to watch a 1 hour, about 38-minute interview from beginning to end.
Wow.
Yes, because we were at the gym. I didn't even know Sarkodie was on the show, as a matter of fact. So right after the gym, I think I saw an Adam Online feed. I have subscribed to the channel, so I saw their feed. And I said, oh, really? Sarkodie has responded to, because that was their headline. Sarkodie responds to Samini, blah, blah. I said, oh, really? This early? Because I know Sarkodie would not respond like this early. But I became curious. Hey, really? This early? I said, okay, let me watch. I opened the video, it was 1 hour. So I saw, so it was an interview with Andy Dusty on Hit FM. I spent time to watch from beginning to end because I wanted to know the details. And I want to commend Sarkodie for something. Charlie, the emotional intelligence for that guy, if emotional intelligence were to be a school, I'm sure Sarkodie is the headmaster. That people should just go there to learn from him.
Wow.
Like the emotional intelligence the guy exhibited in the interview, it was no joke. Because ordinarily, even with my position as a journalist who would want to ask questions, I can tell you that if I were in the position of Sarkodie, I might have gotten emotional at some point. I might have acted rudely at some point. Because at the point I realized that guy was even disappointed in the whole show that was happening. Not some of the questions itself. The whole show that was happening, like he was disappointed. He said, oh, Andy, you see, like, it was like, you see, this is why I didn't want to come here. That kind of vibe. But he handled it well. So I think Andy was also smart. Those hard questions, he did not ask himself directly. Okay. He played the role like, okay, these are questions coming from what? Outside. From the fans. So he read, this one says this. Sark, would you answer? This one says this. Yeah, but yes, that sometimes, I still think that if you're a journalist, no matter the friendship, if the question you want to ask, be bold and ask. And don't go about running around it. Unless you don't want to ask. Unless maybe because of some reason. There are so many times artists come to me and for some reasons, there are some questions I don't ask. Okay. Because I know they'll flare up. Or I know it will not land well. Okay. I ignore it. But if I want to ask, forget it. I'll go ahead and ask. So once again, yes, I'm commending Sarkodie for the emotional intelligence he exhibited on the show. But to the Shatta question he answered, I think he answered right. Really? When it comes to Shatta, Wale and all the top guys, most questions from either side to the other, they irritate them easily, especially when it is that kind of offensive questions. So ask Shatta Wale about Stonebwoy, ask Shatta Wale about Sarkodie, Sammy and all those guys. If the question is not one of positivity, it has a high tendency of irritating him. Same way to the reverse. Ask a Stonebwoy question from Sarkodie or Shatta Wale and vice versa. If it is not a question of positivity, the way he answered the question, I was like, wow. He said, yeah, I think it was out of excitement. And yeah, he sees it like that. Some of these, I say, wow. Because he could, if he had even said, oh, I won't even respond to it, then I would say that, guy is not happy about it. He's taking it to heart. Exactly. But he said it was out of his, and it is true. If you watch the interview of Shatta Wale, and it is true. He did not say it out of any bad point, or he was just saying something. You know, sometimes that may can be big. That's what I felt. Like he was just saying something, not because he hated the progress of Sarkodie or he was not happy. No, he was just saying something. Oh, let's just say something and let it pass. And he said it and it passed. So same way, just as he said it and it passed, I'm so happy that Sarkodie also responded to it and it's passed. But imagine if he had responded to it in another way, that proved he was emotionally hurt about the response. I'm sure like by now, we are still chewing it.
Trending,
like by now, we are still chewing it. Like by now, we are still chewing it. And that is how interesting I think he handled it. And I want to commend him once again for that. Sometimes when you are enjoying all the praises and someone kicks you, you feel the pain more because you least expect it. You think you're having fun. No, be a boy and boom. More, but he handled it easily, and I think I want to commend him for that. There wasn't any need for any bad blood, so it was cool.
Nice one. So we move on to the second story on the table, and Sarkodie says, "That's my prayer." It was a question that was thrown at him, asking him whether or when are we going to see him, Shatta, Stone on a world tour, and Sarkodie said that is his prayer. Me, I find it a little shocking, especially in these times where the music, politics, and people, business level, people would want to protect their turf, win alone, chop alone. And Sarkodie says now it is his prayer to go on a tour with Shatta, Wale, and Stonebwoy. Isn't that weird?
It is not weird for me. And especially coming at a time that we just read in the news that Davido and Wizkid, they are also about to embark on such a tour. And I'm sure the last time we spoke about it, I even said that it is my wish that it comes back to Ghana, that our people also see themselves together like this and embark on some of these tours. That is why it doesn't sound or doesn't come as weird to me. So I love that response as well. But then, I still want to believe Sarkodie, as emotionally intelligent he was on the show, some of these responses were just political responses.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes, that is fact. Because like I've told you already, I've commended him for the way he exhibited emotional intelligence on the show. Such a person, knowing that he's mastered that skill, you wouldn't expect him to answer in a way, for instance, and they ask him, we want to see a world tour of you, Stonebwoy, and Sarkodie, and Shatta Wale, and he say, oh, I'm not ready for it. No. Because he knows that every answer he will give, there will be a continuation. So if he had said, I'm not ready for it, then it means now, we are now going to have the opportunity to discuss why is he not ready? Who is the problem? What is the problem? When is he going to be ready? You will now be asking these questions. But because he doesn't want any of these things to prolong, he will just say, oh yeah, that's it. And with a straight face, yeah, that's my prayer. Like I saw his face. That is my prayer. Yes, if a good business proposal is put before him, I'm sure he will consider.
Okay.
Of course, he's working for money. So if one day he wakes up and someone says, I'm taking you on a tour, you and Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy, every gig $500,000, do you think he will say no?
Oh, no.
No, he won't say no. He'll go for it.
Business.
So yes, if the business is good, he'll go for it. But that response alone, I want to see it to be a little political. Yeah, he wouldn't say much, but until the business comes in, it is not something you see him jumping left, right, and center because someone has said this. No, he will not be so enthused about it until a business drops on his table to consider. If a business drops on his table to consider, then he'll go for it because who doesn't want money? After all, he's been performing, and if he is going to do a tour with Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy, it doesn't mean he's going to sleep on their bed. It doesn't mean he's going to eat with them.
Okay.
He has got nothing to do with them apart from the fact that my time you perform. When you leave that stage, I also come and perform. That's it. So that response was a politically correct response. Yeah, that's my prayer.
But what about the other parties? Do you think that they would also have given the same response if they were in that position?
I doubt. For instance, I can predict what Shatta Wale will say. Shatta Wale will go like, me, I'm ready. I mean, when I talk, they don't listen. Me, Sammy, I've always been calling. Let's come together and do it so we can all eat. But you know, this boy, I can just predict Shatta might answer it that way.
Stonebwoy.
Oh, another politically correct response. Stonebwoy go like, yeah. Me, I'm always ready. If this has to go on, why not? It is one agenda. It is Ghana. He also speak like
politicians.
But that is how he will speak. Yeah, like one agenda. Yeah, that is how the movement should be. We have to come together. All be lie. All be lie. But, you know, so based on most of them, their temperament. That's how they'll organize themselves when it comes to some of these. But I still think that for the response, it was a politically correct response. But if it becomes reality, someone puts one on the table, let's do it. None of them will say no. None of them will say no. Of course, they would have their own sentiments. For instance, someone will be thinking, so if you are going on a tour, are you going to pay us the same? Or you are going to pay someone bigger than you are going to pay me? Someone even come like, me, I'm coming with a band. Maybe 18-man band, so man band. This is what I deserve. So all these things will come to play. But if the man in the middle is able to do his things right, he will get them. But for the responses there, they will all respond in a politically correct response. That is not the reality in them. The reality in them will only come out when there is money on the table.
Wow, thank you. This has been very insightful. Of course, we do this show with you. Yes, this is Sammy Flex Speaks, but then we know you also have your opinion to share, which is why the comment section is for you. Let us hear from you. In fact, you might agree with him, or maybe probably you would disagree. It is allowed. It is part of the game.
We are ready for everything.
So until we meet on the next episode, my name is Roland Amate. Big thanks to Currency the Guitar Rasta, Richie Flex, and everybody giving us support behind the scenes. It is part of it. As I said, what's on here? Stay safe.